the show.
That's right. Well,
Down in Mexico they say, even the dead, they have a day and they dance. Oh, they dance. And in New Orleans I'm told, the ghosts that dance down their road, but they dance. Oh, they dance. 'Cause the words you write and the songs you sung do live on, and when you're gone, will they dance? Oh, will they dance? The pirate, the poet, the boys in the band take their muses by the hand and they dance. Oh, they dance. Notice the writers, drunkens and saints, words and music, ink and paint, it's a dance. Oh, it's a dance. 'Cause the words you write and the songs you sung do live on, and when you're gone, will they dance? Oh, will they dance? So many people all in a trance, focused on dying, really they've died in advance. Oh, in advance. But inspiration changes minds, show them they're artists, and when it's time they can dance. Oh, they can dance. 'Cause the words you write and the songs you sung do live on, and when you're gone, will they dance? Oh, will they dance? Down in Mexico they say, even the dead, they have a day and they dance. Oh, how they dance. And when I die, I hope someday someone will sit on my grave and play, and I'll dance. Oh, how I'll dance. 'Cause the words you write and the songs you sung do live on, and when you're gone, will they dance? Oh, will they dance? And when I die, I hope someday someone will sit on my grave and play, and we'll dance. Oh, how we'll dance.
nope.
Hey, Boozeketeers. Here we are. It's Tuesday evening, and we're here where we are. We're here in a secret hideaway that no one knows about because we haven't been here before. We've been here before, but you haven't been here before unless you were here with us.
It's a bit of a grotto.
Kind of a great it is.
Kind. It's grotty.
It's grotty.
It's grotty.
It's grotty.
No.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a nice grotto.
It is. It's fantastic. We're sitting out here under the warm California sun. It's actually kind of chilly at the moment, but that's okay because we have our booze to keep us warm.
Yeah, to all you people that are out there in over 100-degree heat, just imagine what it's like here. We're almost
Just
ready to
imagine
put
us
jackets on. So
suffering in our pleasantness.
yeah.
Well, hey, so here we are, episode 35 of Cocktales with Tiki King, and you're here, and so are the Cocktales, and I'm Tiki King, and so that's all we need, I'm pretty sure. But so we're coming here. So we're here, and we're at my friend Kim's house because she foolishly asked me to watch it for her. But the one thing that she didn't foolishly do changed the whole thing, because I had I was going to do a thing, but now it's changed because she left some explicit instructions on how to do things here, and I have to follow them to the letter. So So that's what we're doing
It's
here.
from the ancient rule of house sitters.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how many of you joined us last week. I'm sure all of you who watched were joining us. So we were live. You know, it's funny. Every time I say we were live from, or we're going to be live from, and at the show, every single show is live.
Yeah, that's true.
Next week we're going to be live from. So yeah, I don't know.
Just like this week.
This week we are live right now from here. So, and I'll get to this in a minute, but we're going to get to this right now. We could do like shots, like mixed shots of shots.
Oh, we're gonna mix it up.
Why not?
Okay.
We'll do we got some spicy stuff here, and then we'll put that stuff in because that's.
This is Captain Morgan's pineapple rum.
This is Bacardi Oak. For those of you keeping score at home, please make sure to check the appropriate box on your tick sheets because later we'll need to send you a bill. Let's see what happens. We'll try it.
So you didn't actually say what the instructions were.
I'm not going to.
Oh.
They have to guess. I'm going to talk about some things and then go back into it.
Okay.
I'll digress, as I am wont to do.
I've never heard you do that before. That would be weird.
My digressive juices, I'm having them right now.
That's pleasant.
It is.
Wow.
And we have not every drink we've had here has been pleasant. There was one that was not, but. So here we are. Like I said, we're here in our secret, in Kim's secret lair. And when she watches the show, she will be very surprised. And I made every house sit again. But so last week we were at the Fallen Tattoo Asylum. We had a great time out there with Danny, one of the Boozeketeers. He's probably commenting right now because that's just the way he is. But he was generous enough to let us invade his shop where we tattooed people, we drank drinks, we told stories. We did all kinds. It was a whole lot of fun. It was a good thing. It was a great thing, and
you hijinked the night
we
away.
did. We hijinked the night away. We went out. We were in Sedona. We were promised a vortex. We didn't get one. I was a little upset. I thought we were going to get sucked right in, and it didn't happen. So our attorney may be contacting the city of Sedona to straighten that out, and if we'll let you know the results of that as word comes in. So what are we doing and why? That's the question.
It is.
Turk doesn't even know because he came in and I said, "There's a whole thing, but it changed." And he was like, "Is that good?"
I'm baffled.
We're going to find out.
But that's not unusual.
That's right. So the original intention of tonight's show was we were going to introduce you to to something that seems sacrilegious, but happens in different places. And I was always kind of against it, but then the need arose and it filled the need, and I'm pretty happy about it. Which is that. Tonight we decided to try and make a Bloody Mary without vodka using dry white wine because the need arose. And at first I balked because there's lots of places you can go to, like you go to these like restaurants that can't get a liquor license, you know, and they have beer, they have wine cocktails.
Right.
And most of the time they're sweet cocktails, or they have like some sort of weird like sake martini, which not bad actually. I've had it, but it's like it's not. Most of the time it's kind of, I was saying earlier, it's kind of like, you know, like what tofu is to chicken.
Yeah.
Which they're just friends. I was reading about it on the internet. But you know, most of the time it's like, oh well, this is kind of, if you can't have anything else, well, this is okay.
You know, if you're stuck in that situation where you're at the wine-only restaurant and they are trying to serve you some sort of wine cocktail thing, I think the best bet is to go with the sangria because it was always meant to be a wine.
It is, yeah.
Anyway.
We've done some experimentation with that, and it turned out very well as well.
Yeah.
But so the Bloody Mary. So we thought, okay, if we can get a good dry white wine, and spice it up and stuff, it might be an acceptable substitute. We figured, you know, not going to be as good as
Right.
vodka, but you know, worth trying. Because what if you only have a bottle of white wine? What are you going to do? You can either just chug the white wine, which I've been known to do, or if you're like, but I really want a Bloody Mary, let me tell you, we made some, and it was good. It was not, but it wasn't like, yeah, it was okay. It was, you know, would have been better with vodka. It was actually good. Not as strong, obviously, because it's wine, but we're probably going to experiment some more and maybe up the wine ratio a little bit and we'll get to that saturation point where it's as much wine as you can get in there without it going south on you.
Right.
And we'll let you know how that turns out, and maybe do we can't. Can't we? We do a show about that now that we're doing a show about it?
Well, if you're wondering why we aren't doing the show about it,
Right.
I am not a fan of the Bloody
He
Mary.
does not like Bloody Mary.
Nope.
But I do. And I'll tell you, I'll drink them morning, noon, and night if they're available. And there's one sitting on the table right there. And it's... So what we did, I can go ahead and explain the cocktail because we are on the cocktail show. So it's Bloody Mary mix, some horseradish, and some seasoned salt, and some fresh squeezed limes, and the Bloody Mary mix was some sort of organic, natural stuff that had Worcestershire and black pepper in it already, so I didn't put that in there. I usually will. If you watch the show on Bloody Marys, you can see that I put all kinds of crazy stuff in there. But this was, we were using a mix that had a lot of stuff in it already. But I went basically 1-to-1 with the white wine and the Bloody Mary. Actually, it was probably like 2/3 to 1, 2/3 wine to 1 Bloody Mary mix. And I would have to say I'm probably going to go back and do 1-to-1 and see how that works out.
Okay.
Then garnished it with all the normal stuff. Put some tapatio in there. Sprinkled on some seasoned salt. There were some pepperoncinis, some garlic olives, some pearl white pickled olives. You like those?
I do.
He likes the Gibson. So, and celery, of course. And did all that. Sprinkled the seasoned salt on top, and it was delicious. I chugged mine down like my head was on fire.
Okay. Well, it's not now, so
Not
it
now.
must have
No,
worked.
it put it right out.
It worked.
It put it right out. But so tonight, the reason you may ask yourself, and you won't know, that's the thing. So
That's why you have to ask us. Actually, not me, because I don't really know.
we already did question and answers from Matt's house,
That's right.
from Matt's bar, and we got some good questions. Unfortunately, I didn't. Apparently, there were questions that I didn't see, and now I have to lament that.
No, I don't think so. I think some questions should remain unanswered.
You think?
Yeah.
But it was the same person who's every time the question scrolled by, apparently, because I didn't see it until I watched the show later. But we did have some good questions, and I did have some asinine answers. So I thought that worked out pretty well. So yes, we did question and answers last week. Tattoo Madness. We were in the shop there drinking chartreuse. It was Hunter S. Thompson's birthday eve, and we celebrated good and wild for that. And stuck ink under people's skin and filled our livers with booze, and we had a good time. So we were going to do that. We were going to do the white wine Bloody Mary for today's show, and we did, kind of, I suppose. Did it anyway, but we're not drinking them. We're drinking this. And you may say, yes, but this is the sort of thing you do anyway.
Yeah.
And that's where we're in our element. Because, so I came here to Kim's house. She left me some very explicit instructions. And there was, I think, all in told, 52 pages. I was going to get one, but I don't have to. I think it was page 32, paragraph 4, subsection C, was a note in all caps, actually in a different color ink. So it was very important. And it said, drink all the beer and the rum. So the problem with a statement like that is that she didn't say in my house. So,
that's a pretty tall order.
I know it is. So now I have to wonder: did she mean just drink all the beer and all the rum? Because that could take more than one show. And then I wonder if
It'll just be Tiki King's beer and rum
Tiki King's
drinking show.
beer and rum drinking show. Yeah.
Coming to you every day of the week.
So we got look at that. So tonight, so all of the rum that we're going to drink, we have Sailor Jerry, which is fine. It's got a pinup girl in there, which you can't see. But Sailor Jerry tattooing, my work speaks for itself. That's what it says.
But if it actually does speak for itself, you should probably see a doctor.
Well, did you ever see The Illustrated Man? Don't drink that yet. I'm not done. I know. Ray Bradbury wrote a story called The Illustrated Man. And it was about a guy with tattoos. Mm-hmm. And he said if you stare at them long enough, they start to move. And they tell you stories. Is there any Bradbury fans out there? Because then you know, then you know what I'm talking about, probably. I actually, growing up, there was a fella down the street. I say fella because he was probably younger than me, but he was an old man because that's how that was back then.
You mean younger than you now?
Probably. I'm not sure. But I remember there was a couple of things. There's some ironies. We talked about him in our I don't know what you call it, our bonus featurette when we went to the jury room. I talked about the guy I worked for.
Oh, with the
case of hams.
The
with
case
green
of
eggs,
ham
green
guy.
eggs and the case of ham. Yeah. So this fella was covered in tattoos, just covered, and big, jolly Irishman. He was like the world's biggest leprechaun, and that was one of the things. Working for him was interesting because I had no idea what he was saying most of the time. And I don't know if it was because we were drinking hams like water,
Yeah.
which hams is the beer of sky blue water. I think is that hams? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, hams is the beer refreshing from the land of sky blue water. But yeah, so we'd be working. He would go, man, I was a real bottle of soda." And I would go, okay. And then I'd just watch what he did and try to do that same sort of thing. He was kind of like a weird, sort of like Mr. Magoo, only drunk.
Wow.
I don't know if he was drunk, but he was certainly jolly. But so illustrated man, Sailor Jerry, tattoos. So
Mr. Magoo.
But Mr. Magoo. But so he was like the illustrated man. He was the first person I knew who had like all these like a lot of tattoos. He wasn't sleeved, but he was pretty much all chest and out to shoulders. Because I think in the military, because he was a CB.
Uh-huh.
And I think you couldn't have anything past like here.
Oh, okay.
But covered in tattoos, jolly as could be. But what I'm getting to was one of the things that struck me as a young, impressionable lad was a brick. So listen to you.
Right on the head.
No, one of the things that, and now, looking back, I go, yeah, well, yeah, was I remember going, why do you need two bars? They have a bar in their house and a bar outside on their deck. And I always thought that was odd. And now I go, well, if I could, yeah, I'd do that.
Yeah.
I'd have three. I'd have one in the basement,
Yeah.
one in the house, one on the deck. Can you have too many bars? Not according to
Not
AT&T.
really.
Cheers.
You don't want to have to go into another room.
No, I mean if you can booze it up and like, not have to move.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of that did had everything except the white rum in it.
No, I think it had everything. You
Did it?
poured
Did
a
I put
little
the
bit
white
of
rum?
everything in
I
there,
don't know.
yeah.
I'm not paying attention anymore. I'm going to keep score. But it's good. It's almost like a Mai Tai shot.
Yeah.
Put a squeeze of lime in there, and it would have lime flavor. So I suppose I should do some business. Boozeketeers. Boozeketeer roll call. We've got so many Boozeketeers out there. It's amazing everywhere we go now. So in the Wicked Tinkers, traveling about the country, going to different places, and everywhere we go, Boozeketeers. Yeah, it's good. You guys are doing a good job. Keeping the faith, as it were. Spreading the word, spreading the good word. We need to start a church of the Boozeketeers because it's tax write-off.
Not enough of them have their buttons, though.
I know. You
That's
guys
the
need
problem.
And I was going to hand some out, and I wasn't sure because I was told that they should have to work for it.
Yeah, well.
You got to watch the show. I did actually have one where someone said, "Hey, I want my button," and I said, "What button?" And they said, "A Boozeketeer button." And I said, "How do you know about the Boozeketeers buttons?" And they said, "I watch every show," so I gave it to them because I figured that's the thing is the reason you have to send for it.
That's work.
Well, no, but the reason, that's true. You've earned it.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. But
Here's your reward.
I bent the pin out, stuck it on their chest, and just hammered it in. So it's kind of like being back to the military, like being pinned. Boozeketeer pinning. Maybe that's it. You don't have to. Okay, here's the deal. So, wait. So you can send a self-addressed stamped envelope to P.O. Box. Wait. You can send a self-addressed stamped envelope to P.O. Box 345, Felton, California. If you would like your very own Boozeketeers button to show your pride, whether you're out in the queue, waiting in the dole, or in the pub, waiting for your kids to stop serving you because you're drunk. If you would like your very own Boozeketeers button, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to P.O. Box 345, Felton, California, 95018. And you might want to address that to Tiki King, just so they know. But send that to me, and I will send you a button. Or you can come up to me in person and beg for it. And if you can prove that you watch the show enough, a good way is also commenting. If you're a Boozeketeer and you're out there and you haven't commented, you need to comment. Otherwise, we might be talking to ourselves.
Maybe we need a password. Did you watch last week's show? What's the password? This week's password is Gargamaranth.
Gargamaranth. That's right. So if you see
we didn't say they had to be real words.
No. So if you see us somewhere out on the road, stop for us because we probably broke down. And after you do that, and you give us a ride into town, and we all go to the bar, say Gargamaranth, and you get a free Boozeketeer's pen, courtesy of Tiki King. Mm-hmm. But yes, you can send for one in the mail. Who knows when you'll get it? Because I'm so aloof. I'm a traveling man. I make a lot of stops all over the world. Yeah. And so if you see me out there, you say the password. It's going to change every week, though. It's going to change. So you got to keep up. If you don't see me before next Tuesday, it's going to be a new password.
And if you missed the show live, now you got to go back and watch it.
You got to watch all of them because I may say this week's password is the same as episode 22.
Oh.
Which that'd be tough because we didn't say a password.
No,
episode 22.
This was the first one.
I know. So now we can start that. Should we write them? We'll have to write them down. Doesn't matter.
No.
Does it matter to you guys?
No.
Or is anyone watching the show?
None of this matters.
None of it matters. Some of it matters.
This part matters.
That does. I'm pretty happy with the drinking all the rum business. But and go to the websites. Go to tikiking.info. Join the Paradise Club. There's a free ukulele in it for you if you're one of the 100 people who join. And if you're not, then, well, you can still buy a ukulele. It just isn't free. So, yeah. So there we go.
Speaking of which.
Oh, hey. Yeah.
Wonderful, handcrafted by Tiki King, baritone ukulele.
The Turk won that for living 40 years.
Yes, I did.
It was a contest that he had with himself.
Yes. It was a tough all, I'll tell you.
Yeah, he was like, I did it. I made the 40 years. I said, what'd you win? He said, you're making me a ukulele.
That's right.
So there it is. Yeah, and he plays it with gusto and his fingers. But as you heard earlier,
my fingers are full of gusto.
They are like Italian sausages, only gusto flavored. Which is like haggis. It's filled with gusto. Gutso.
Ew, my fingers are like haggis?
Like your fingers are like a cartoon character. Gutso.
You think you're fine, and then one day you wake up and find out your fingers are filled with haggis.
I know. They have my fingernails have been filled. Not the nails themselves, but the nail beds.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
Not just like under my nails, but actually the nail beds themselves.
That's just disturbing.
I had to drill a hole to get it in there.
Oh.
That's the weird part.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh, we got to drink all the beer.
Well, you continue the show. I'll get some more beer.
So it occurred to me that without form or so I'm going to be going back out to Sedona, to the Fallen Tattoo Asylum, to be giving tattoos. So if you would like a tattoo by me, coming out there, or if you happen to be a Boozeketeer who's on the road with us, me and CJ, Wicked Tinkers Tattoos, the WT, we're going to be giving them away for the low price of probably like $50. So if you've ever wanted a Wicked Tinkers tattoo, you can get a Wicked Tinkers tattoo from a Wicked Tinker. What'll it cost you? Hardly nothing. Not less than what you'd have to spend on a bar tab just to impress us enough to give you a tattoo. But
what happened? I missed it.
You did. Oh, I was talking about me and CJ tattooing. So we're working it up. It's fun times. It's sticking ink under people's skin. I'm not sure I'd do it for fun, but I'll do it for money and fun.
You used to do it for fun.
I did. We used to. That's the thing is that back in the day, back in the olden days, we drank a lot and tattooed a lot.
That's true.
And when I say a lot, I don't mean area, like surface area. I mean that it took forever because we used a single needle wrapped with a thread thing, and it was poke and stick, one dot at a time. And Turk here, he's
yeah.
That was like originally that's like an old school sleeve. It's
Well, it was
bracelets.
a cuff, maybe.
Yeah, bracelets. But it took forever.
Yeah.
I did a band of hieroglyphics around a girl's arm, and it took, how long did it take for more? It was like months.
I don't remember. Long
She
time.
would come over and we'd do like 2 characters, and that would be about all we could do because it took forever to do single dots. But now we have machines that tattoo for us, and robot slaves. So you can, all you got to buy them as a way.
For now.
Yeah, for now.
For now,
Then
they're
I'm
the
gonna-
slaves.
I wanna go to
Soon, they'll be the overlords.
8-man slaves is what I'm going for. If you can train a monkey to give a tattoo, well,
Maybe he'll tattoo like Shakespeare on you. Or
that's true.
something.
If you have an infinite amount
Isn't that
of
how that
monkeys
works?
and an infinite amount of tattoo guns, eventually one of them will tattoo all the great works. That's what they say. I'm not sure who they are or why they get to say that.
It's one of those mysteries.
Yeah,
That's
it's
one
the
of those unanswered questions I was saying. It's like
The great mysteries
sometimes
of
you
life.
just don't want to know.
Or you do, and then when you find out, it's like the magic trick where it turns out that it was like this huge thing, but it's actually that it was stuck to their pinky with gum.
Yeah.
And you're like, really?
Yeah.
Like at one moment they made like the Golden Gate Bridge disappear, and then it turns out it was stuck to their pinky with gum. And you're like, really?
I'd actually be more impressed by that.
Would you?
No.
I was gonna say.
I'd still be pretty impressed if you could stick the Golden Gate Bridge to your pinky with gum.
Yeah, it has to be the right. It has to be Hubba Bubba.
Oh,
'Cause
that
that's
makes sense now.
Yeah, not dentine. Don't use dentine to stick nothing to nothing. You can't even blow bubbles with it. It makes your mouth taste like cinnamon. But other than that, I mean, unless you're a dentist, I'm not sure the point. Dentine. 4 out of 5 dentists recommend trying it. So there you go. I don't know. I'm just making it up at this point. Wait, we were on to something. We had a thing. What was that?
Birds. There's like little tiny dinosaurs with feathers in the air. We were alarmed by the seagulls.
Oh, was it a gull?
Yeah.
Oh, I was hoping it was a crow. I like the crows, especially the old crows. Like a pint.
Yep.
Pint of old crow. That's always good.
Nobody wants a pint of old seagull.
That's true. I have yet to say that is a whiskey I would hesitate.
I pass on
I would
that.
hesitate for a moment before
Yeah.
drinking it. So, that's something. Ooh, I don't know. Should I talk about the $5 bill? Because that's interesting to me. So digressing or time traveling, whichever way it is. So did I tell you about the $5 bill?
No, I don't know
It's pretty
about the $5
I don't know
bill.
if I have it. I can explain it. So we did the show. We did the special bonus feature at the jury room.
Right.
Later on, when I opened up my wallet, I had the change from the 20 from getting my drink.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things was a $5 bill, and something was wrong with it. I was like, "There's something wrong with this. It looks wrong," because the colors were off.
Mm.
And I looked at it. I'm like, "What the heck?" And I looked, and it was a 1963 $5 bill.
Wow.
It's the year I was born.
Wow.
So I was like, "Wow, that's cool." 63, and then I started noticing it had all these creases, and so I carefully re-creased it, and it folded up into a tiny square.
Wow.
Which tells me that someone had that in their wallet.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming it was commemorating something.
Right.
Yeah. And they'd been carrying around, and I'm guessing they took that out and bought a drink with it. And at first I was thinking, was this someone's birth?
Mm-hmm.
Which could have been me. I was born 63.
Yeah.
Or someone's death, or they got married, they had a kid.
Mm-hmm.
There could have been all these different things that they were commemorating, because I was like 63, so that puts them my age, which, you can get older, obviously, because I'm pretty young, but I was thinking, around this time, something happened in 63 that was important enough that they probably got that $5 bill folded up and stuck in their wallet. Until this point, in my first thought, I was sad, because I thought it was desperation.
They were never going to spend that $5.
That's right, because it was a commemorative item. But then I thought, wow, what drove them?
Mm-hmm.
What drove them to? And I thought, was it desperation? Did they need that shot in a beer? That's what we were having. But I thought, did they need that? And then I thought, because maybe they were desperate. But then I thought, or maybe they were celebrating. maybe they made a pact with someone and said, if we make it, let's say, maybe I was thinking. Then I got all like romantic about it, thinking, wow, what if someone said, like a group of friends said, let's all take a $5 bill right now, and save it, and if we make it to this date, we'll go and have a toast, and we'll buy a drink, and they each gave each other a $5 bill, and so they, wherever they were, when they reached this date, they bought ostensibly. What's that? Austin.
Yeah, like maybe they were celebrating their 50 years of sobriety.
Maybe. Oh, there you go. Yeah, with a shot of beer. That could be it. But I was thinking maybe it wasn't, because I thought, oh, it was some poor homeless guy who was now spending his the $5 from his that was some commemorative thing, and then I went, well, or maybe it was something really awesome.
Yeah.
Like I said, where they each, where like a group each bought each other a drink on a specific date.
Right.
No matter where they were in the world. And that's the kind of cool. That's the part that made me kind of go, yes. Is that I went, maybe this was a thing that they all got to do.
Maybe we should do.
And
that.
they all said on this date. Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
So I took that $5 bill, right?
Yeah.
Folded it back up. It's in my wallet. Because I realized that's all well and good, but the truth is, when we get to time travel, I have to come back to give myself this thing, or we can't have this show.
That's right.
So
now we're in a loop.
We are, and that's the thing.
We're in a loop.
Don't forget, if we could dissolve away at any moment if I spend that $5 on booze, which which I have to, or it's never gonna, none of it's gonna work.
But you have to do it at the right time, which is back in time.
I have to go.
So until you can go back in time, you can't.
Once we get time travel,
Yeah.
I will go back to the special edition featurette, and I'll probably be that guy with the big white beard and the short. Did you notice he was wearing shorts and tennis shoes?
Oh yeah.
Standing there in line. It was me.
That's true.
And I came back in time to give myself the $5 so that I could get the change, so that I could do tonight's show. But then realized later in life, I was like, oh crap, what if I don't do that? So now I'm going to have to. And you guys can, well, then everybody has to come back to find out if I did it.
No, because you could do it in a future show.
That's true. So instead of time travel, it'll be actually like, and I'll disappear for a few minutes, and then done, and we'll all rejoice, and life will be good, just like that. So remember, no matter where you are and what you're doing and what's important and what's not important and what's gibberish and what's desperation, it all comes around. It all happens. And you got to make sure that when you get to the point that it has to happen, that you do it, because otherwise none of it happened ever.
That's right.
And I guess I think with that, I might say goodnight. I probably will say goodnight. All right, Boozeketeers, thanks for tuning in to episode 35, Cocktales of Tiki King, in which we drank all the rum, drank all the beer.
We got to start on.
We digressed and we time traveled in a big way.
Yeah.
Tonight, more time travel than ever.
With more time travel.
Now, Cocktales of Tiki King now with more time travel. Alrighty, so tune in next week. Who knows where we're going to be? Somewhere else, I'm guessing. Somewhere in time, somewhere in space. But we'll be there and you'll be there and we'll all be there together separately in our own places, but at the same time. And I want to thank everybody who's tuned in tonight. And I want to say, I can say it again, Sundays with Sophie on kbcz.org. My kid's got a radio show, and apparently you're going to give them some cool tunes to groove on. And
yeah, that's going to happen.
Okay, there you go. So there might be more groovy tunes. But I want to thank everybody who watched. Everybody who didn't watch, I want to chastise you. Watch next week. But you're already watching, or you can't be chastised. So there you go. There you
Watch
go.
it now, watch it later.
It's all, yeah.
It's all just one big time machine.